Hey, what's going on, everyone? Retire on Dividends here. Finally getting around to talking about ULTY. So, what the heck is ULTY, right? ULTY is another high-yielding fund from YieldMax. But ULTY is a super special fund because it kind of does its own little thing. You know, if you go to YieldMax website, they have several categories. They have covered call ETFs, which we know what they are: Tesla, Coney, all them crazy ones. And then they have fund of funds. We know what they are: YMAX, YMAC. And then they have the short option funds on the bottom. But they have ultra ETFs. However, ULTY is still the only ultra ETF. Will there be more one day? Who the heck knows? But as of right now, there's only ULTY, and it's called Ultra Options Income. So if you click on ULTY and you go on the website, you could see ULTY, blah, blah, blah. We know it yields a crap load. Their distribution rate is reflecting 113%. They pay monthly, not weekly. They pay monthly. And they have, again, a similar strategy overall where, they essentially sell calls and make money. So if we go down here, you could see if you go to the holdings, what they do is basically what's a little different is they actually physically own the underlying. And then what they do from there is they sell calls. Now, the difference between them and the other funds is they own many underlyings. Well, not only that they own the underlying, because the others do synthetics, but they own the underlying and they own many. Not many, but crazy ones like Labu, 3X Fund, NVIDIA, which is not crazy. But, there's a lot of Sunrun is very volatile. TNA, TQQQ, triple leverage funds. They own a whole bunch of crazy crap, and I love it. I love it. This is not for, people who do not like risk. This is for people who love risk, who love high yield, who trust their fund manager to make the right decision. So why are we talking about ULTY? Well, we're talking about ULTY because they have changed their prospectus. Now, bear with me because I was able to get their prospectus through someone on my Discord, thankfully. I can't remember their name, but thank you again. And I have it, typically when I get a prospectus, I can save it as a file. Now, I was able to save this as a file. However, it got cut off on page 6. So I'm going to go through what the first 6 pages with my highlights, and then I'm going to have to skim through the rest. We'll do it together because I didn't get to look at the rest. Because if I can't highlight it, what the hell is the point? I might as well review it with you guys. So these first 6 pages are probably key anyway, but we'll just go through it together. So real quick, they filed this prospectus. Again, this is not in place. This is not on the website. They filed it on August 16th. Okay, why do you care about the filing date? Well, because if you look down here, it shows it's effective 60 days after filing. So 60 days after August 16th, let's just call it October 16th, right? Today, as I'm making this video, it's September 25th. So there is some time. All right, so let's keep going. Obviously, this is just for ULTY. The date is blank per the prospectus. I assume that'll say October 16th when they put it on the website or whenever they decide to. As far as expense ratio, 1.14%. It looks like it was originally 1.24. They're giving us a fee waiver of 0.1%. So we will have to pay them on an annualized basis, which comes off the top of the ETF. So you don't even see it, but it's 1.14%. Most people, that's a turnoff in itself. But if you're used to these funds, you're like, okay, whatever. Yield me 100%. You could charge 1% easily. All right, so I highlighted a few things. Some of this is, no change. Some of this is new. So they seek current income and capital appreciation. Okay, we know that. The underlying securities primarily include U.S. listed equity securities of operating companies and shares of ETFs. Additionally, they may include other types of U.S. listed exchange traded products, such as closed-ended funds or closed-end funds and commodity pools. Interesting. All right, so I don't know if that's new, by the way, versus the old. So Zega selects the underlying securities by analyzing, among other things, the levels of implied volatility, which is a measure of the market's expectation for future price fluctuations of the underlying security listed options prices. Zega also analyzes significant upcoming events, I mean, they better, right? Related to, where applicable, the issuers of the underlying securities, meaning such as like earnings releases. The fund is generally unconstrained, which is good. We like that. And therefore, the underlying securities can be of any market cap size and represent any industry sector. So they can invest in a freaking penny stock, right? I mean, they won't, but they can. Zega selects underlying securities based on a frequent, well, not penny stocks on the pink slip exchange, but I assume, any cheap ass stock on the New York Stock Exchange. Zega selects underlying securities based on a frequent and quantitative screening process. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So they basically, they choose basically based on IV. I mean, that's the moral of the story here. But Zega will typically select between 15 and 30 underlying securities. They will implement the option strategies on the underlying securities. However, when Zega deems it appropriate, it may choose as few as 5 underlying securities on which to implement option strategies. What does this mean? Well, it means they can own 15 to 30 underlying stocks, but if they choose to do so, maybe because the market is just too unpredictable at the time, they could do options on as few as 5 of the 30 or 15 or whatever. So again, it's just about flexibility. The fund will invest in underlying securities across various sectors and industries, reducing the impact of sector-specific events. Okay, that's good. It may invest in the underlying securities attributable to a particular sector in the amounts greater than 25% of the 25% of the fund's total assets. The fund will not invest more than 25% of its net assets in a particular industry. So they can invest more than 25% per sector, but they cannot invest more than 25% in a particular industry, because within sectors, there are various industries. So that's important to note. You don't want to be all in one industry. One sector, maybe that's doable. One industry, it depends what it is, of course, but it's good to have that in there. The fund may invest in underlying securities directly or synthetically. This just means, currently they own the stocks outright. So that means directly, or it means they could do the synthetic process, which is what the covered call funds do. And then this just explains what direct versus synthetic means. So we don't really need to explain that. But it shows what the synthetic is. Combination of long call options and sold put option provides the fund with investment exposure equal to approximately 100% of the relevant underlying securities for the duration of the applicable options exposure. I know that was a mouthful, but I just wanted to, say that in case people aren't familiar with the term synthetic. Because again, there could be new people watching my videos, each and every time, and I have to keep that in mind. Zega will select one option strategy or a combination of option strategies that it believes will best provide the fund with current income while generally also attempting to capture some upside appreciation. So I just love the flexibility of this. In some instances, the aim is to generate additional gains if the underlying security increases in value, while in other cases, the aim is to limit losses if the underlying security decreases in value. Again, love reading this. And then this I just highlighted it because it shows right now they're just selling calls, but here it mentions selling puts. So they can sell calls, they could sell puts. I mean, in reality, the way I'm reading this is there is no limitation. They can just pretty much, Jay calls it the hedge fund. Do what you want. We're paying an expert 1.14%, which, by the way, would be cheaper than paying a pro, on your own, going to a financial advisor. I think. I don't know. I assume they're a ripoff, but it seems like a pretty good price to pay an expert like Jay and his team to do it. All right. Sub-advisor analyzes market conditions to determine the timing and type of option strategies to employ to achieve the primary objective of current income. Of course, awesome. Why invest in this fund? Well, the fund seeks to participate in some of the potential gains experienced by the increases in the share price. Wow, that's the first bullet. I like it. The fund seeks to generate monthly income. Monthly income. Again, this does not pay weekly, which is not dependent on the value of the underlying security, which, again, we know that. All right, let's keep going. Scrolling along. It talks about risk. You guys can read that. Obviously, yes, this is risky. Most people know that, but if you don't, please read that. So see here, I don't know, man. I couldn't get it to download on the files. So, and I put it on Google Chrome, and then I downloaded it from there, and then I decided to cut it off on page 6. So again, guys, I don't know. I can't figure it out. So I just did what I could, and now we will resume this on page 6 via the website. So I apologize. This part I did not go through yet, and I did not highlight it. So bear with me. Hopefully it goes smoothly. All right, this continues to talk about risk. The investment advisor is Title Investments. Sub-advisor, Zega Financial. Here's all the portfolio managers. It talks about Jay, Michael Venuto, and Chris Mullen, all of which I did meet in New York City. Very good people. All right, let's keep going. Options terminology. I'm not going to read this to you guys. I mean, if you're curious, obviously I will put this prospectus link. Again, this is filed. It's not final. I assume there will be no changes, but I could put this version of it. Actually, yeah, well, it is in the YieldMax channel now, so if you go there, you could find it. I could put it in the prospectus and just mention it's tentative because it's not really final. And then this just shows here, it just shows, stuff about selling calls, selling credit spreads, which obviously they could do that too. So they selling diagonal call spreads. And now this is why, we're paying them, right? We don't speak the options terminology, or we don't have time to do it. Cash secured puts, selling calendar call spreads, selling collars. I don't know what a freaking collar is. I love options, but I don't really care what a collar is. All right, let's move on. I'm sure, in reality, these are just like terms, fancy terms, but when you read it, it's not really that complex, to be honest. But anyway, let's move on. Most of this is probably just crap. I think most of the important crap is in the beginning. Again, they talk about risks here. I'm sorry if I'm making you dizzy, but I'm trying to make this as fast as possible. Risk. Investment advisor. Yes, we know this. Here's the expense ratio, 1.14%. I'll take it. Zega. Whenever I think of Zega, I think of Sega. What do we got? Fund supporters. Cool. How to buy, sell shares. Wow. Book entry. Don't care. Blah, 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 blah. Dividends, distributions, and taxes. All right. We know they're monthly. So nothing really to talk about there. Taxes on distributions. Let's not go there. Obviously, there's taxes. Yes. But if you invest in these funds, you have to pay taxes. Well, no crap. I love when people say that. Anyway, so here's the distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC. So now we know who to blame if we don't get paid on time. All right, let's keep it going. Third Amendment, blah, blah, blah. Financial highlights. Here we go. Advisor, distributor, legal counsel. Here's some information. Again, it's your money. You should know everything you can about it. Oh, subject to completion. Is this the old one? Or is this another copy of it? I don't know, man. Let's just... looks like a replication of the... what we just read. Let me just go back to the top to see what that said. Yeah, it has the index again, table of contents, it's a statement of additional information. Okay, the top part, what was the top part called? I'm not going to do that here. If we go here, oh, jeez. All right, here it is. This is, just prospectus. So there's prospectus, and then there's statement of additional information. I mean, this is probably nothing useful, but we can take a look. Again, if you're bored, feel free to turn off the video. If you're not, hang in there with me. Again, I'm reading this for the first time with you guys. Obviously, the highlighted part I already went through. Smaller companies, blah, 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 foreign securities, foreign currencies, investment, blah, 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 money market funds. Yeah, we don't care. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, nothing too exciting. Risks. Options on future, options. Let's say options on futures. Options on futures contracts trade on the same contract. That's just definition. Closing. Again, sorry guys, but this is more definition. So this is probably all useless. I'm looking for, sometimes towards the end, they do have a little piece of something useful. Security lending, repurchase agreements. You gotta look at the headers to make sure. Dollar rolls, investment restrictions. Again, they always talk about this 1940 Act. Management of the risk, members of the board. Blah, blah, freaking blah. Oh my God, what a bunch of craps. It's no wonder no one reads this crap because it's so many damn pages. When you open a document and it just shows to be this many pages, it's an automatic, I'm closing it out. But it's important to know the information that we care about is in the beginning, right? Fund net asset level 0 to 250. Pursuant to sub-advisory, Zega is responsible for the day-to-day management of the fund's portfolio subject to supervision, blah, 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 which is calculated daily and paid monthly. Sub-advisor fee. All right, so you can see the various sub-advisor fees based on level, I guess. I don't know if we necessarily give a crap about that. We just want to know what we're going to get charged. So, yeah, this is pretty much it. I think we covered the important stuff. Description of shares, brokerage, transactions. Man, whoever has to make this, I do not envy. Portfolio turnover rate. Fund deposit, blah, blah, freaking, oh my God. Look at on the right. It's not even close to the end. Creation units. So creation units, we always talk about those, right? Where's that? Does it talk about how many? It's usually 25,000. Yeah, man, this is lame-o crapo. Determination of NAV. NAV per share for the fund is computed by dividing the value of the net assets of the fund, which is the value of its total assets less liabilities, divided by the total number of shares outstanding, rounded to the nearest cent, okay? Expenses and fees, including the management fees, are accrued daily and taken into account for the purpose of determining the NAV. So if you're in and out of the fund in one day, you're going to get charged, right? They're going to charge you that expense ratio. So don't think you're being, pulling a fast one. They're going to take it off the top. They take it off the top daily. Dividends and distributions, blah, blah, frickin' blah. Capital loss. Man, now I'm getting dizzy. So you guys are probably like, whew. Maybe look away for a second. Okay, crap, and crap. Boom, 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 boom. Tax underwriting, yeah, that's what I want to read. Yeah, so this is just going on and on and on and on. I guess about various references. These are just references. Keep going. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. We're getting there. At this point, we're going through. We're going to make it. Yeah, I saw K-Web in there. God, code of ethics. Holy crap. And here's all the investment advisors. Oh, man, this is a lot of shit, man. Holy crap. Do we care? Do we give a damn? I just saw Roundhill. What's it? Roundhill Financial Inc. Okay. Who signs it? The president. All right. So that's it. Yeah, that was kind of boring. The beginning part was fun. The end part, again, it's just noise. Like a lot of these prospectus is freaking boring as hell. But all all you guys really need to care about, honestly, is ULTY is changing. Basically, they're changing their prospectus to not limit them to just doing what they normally do, which is owning the underlying and selling covered calls. They want to do more. They want to sell puts, collars, this, that, credit spreads, the other thing. All these fancy little names and options, in the options little world with all the geeks. They fancy terms. Any fancy option term, they may do it, right? And that's fine with me, because you know why? I love options, although I don't do all that. So if they want to spend the time and do all that and make me some options premium while capturing some upside, I will pay them the 1.14% to do that, because they are above and beyond my expertise in options. I am happy to admit that. And again, I love the covered call ETFs. They are great because you get to pick the individual ticker. You have control of that. This you do not. So that is the only downside. However, we're putting the trust in them to choose the right one with the proper implied volatility over earnings, over events, doing the right move to make us money, limiting the losses. Again, that's really the idea. And we'll see how it goes. I feel pretty good about it. Again, we can get our asses kicked. We've been getting our asses kicked on ULTY. It can't get any worse, in fact. We lost freaking 50% of the original price. I know they've been paying out massive distributions, of course, but you get what I'm saying. We expected better of ULTY, and honestly, I think the better is coming. Again, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor by any means. This is for fun and entertainment. Do your own research, read the prospectus yourself, and let me know what you think. Are you all in ULTY? Do you think this is a good fund? Or are you staying away? Right? Ultra dangerous, right? Ultra high yield or ultra dangerous, you decide. Anyway, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns for me, leave them in the comments below, or just leave your opinion. Do you like these changes on ULTY? If you do, what do you like about it? If you don't, what do you hate about it? All right. Anyway, I've been buying more ULTY here and there in preparation of October 16th, assuming that's the date. I'm pretty excited. I'm not going to track ULTY. I know that's coming up. I don't have the time to. And if I did, I would. Believe me, I would, because I would freaking love to. If I covered ULTY, I'd have to cancel everything else. That would be the only way. And I know people aren't having that. So, or if I'm retired, and I'm not retired. So, that being said, anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this content. I hope you enjoyed the coverage of the new ULTY prospectus. And again, appreciate all feedback. If you want to help the channel out, there's a couple options. You can always do the membership thing. There's a 99-cent thing just to help out, and there's a $4.99 thing to to get more content if you give a damn about that. Or you could just share it with your friends and family. Again, that's the best way, word of mouth. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys watching this far in the video, of course. Because it's huge, right? So this was a pretty boring video. It got boring towards the end because these prospectus videos can be super freaking boring. But hopefully at least most of the beginning part did help you guys out and you guys have a decent understanding of the changes of ULTY. But if you have any questions, like I said, leave them in the comments down below. Thank you for watching and have a great day, everyone. Later.